So the topic today is the concerning
Yeah, the protest
the
coming up.
protest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
some have
So I
said it's on the first, and some have said it's on the 29th, and
of
so on,
August. Good.
different dates.
Good. I
But we
am
know that
not.
there's a protest coming up.
Okay, I'm not totally in support of the protest actually because we remember what happened during the NSAS period. You see, a lot of persons actually lost their life, but still, we still need to take both steps to make the country progress one way or the other. So you mentioned something about the minimum wage, which is 70,000. In the
Yes.
normal rational mind, you say, ah, that money is okay from 30,000 to 70,000. But come to think of it, the inflation rates of the nation is actually high. What your 70,000 can actually buy now can't be compared to what my 30,000 can buy then. Do you understand? Like
Yeah.
back then, I can remember when the price of rice was actually 9,000. I can
Yeah.
remember when my parents were like, ah, it is too high.
Yeah.
9,000 is too
Mm.
high. So compared to now that somebody told me that I bought a bag of rice for 80,000, look at the
All right.
difference.
Yeah.
So even that 70,000 is so irrelevant. You see,
All right.
that 70,000 doesn't even match.
Mm.
Doesn't even match up the present economy of the nation. Do you
All right.
understand? So if there's going to be a protest, it should be a very peaceful protest. Do you understand?
All right. Let me take that as your preamble to
Yeah.
our program this evening. Lagos, Nigeria. The number to, of course, call to join in on the discussion this evening is, of course, 090 and 341 3355. 090 341 3355. Do you think it's a good idea for the youth and the Nigerians to, of course, organize a protest this evening as regards the hardship and other things that we are experiencing in Nigeria at the moment? Before I proceed, let me, of course, establish your minds to what it is that the Constitution says concerning, having protests in Nigeria. As some of you know that I, as a person, like doing things constitutionally, and that is why I would need to establish this to the minds of everyone. And that is Chapter 4 of Section 39. Article 1. It says that every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinion and to receive and impart, ideas and information without interference. That is that. And let's now look at, let's also look at chapter 2. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Chapter 4, section 40, which also states that every person shall be entitled to assemble freely and associate with other person. In particular, he may form or belong to any particular party, trade union, or any other association for the protection of his interests. This is just to let you know that the protest that is coming up or that we're about to have is, is legal. I don't know if you get my point. So it is legal. So since it is legal, the next question we should be asking ourselves is this necessary? It might be legal, but it might not be necessary. Understanding the fact that it looks as if the government have been, trying its possible best to, of course, cushion the effect of the hardship on the citizens. And recently, I would also like you to have your take. What's your take? The FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has of course tagged the proposed protest to a politically mastermind. Do you think, it is politically motivated, or do you think this is being realistic? So I would like to have your take in all of this. The line to call is, of course, 090 3641 3355. 090 3641 3355. Lagos, Nigeria. I would, of course, like to have your take on the discussion this evening. Let's know where we are going to. Because this Nigeria, if it is better, it's for the benefit of every one of us. But if it is worse, well, unfortunately, we might not know how else we will go about it. And that's why we've decided to bring this discussion this evening, because we care for every one of us in this nation and Nigeria. All right, so Mr. Emmanuel,
Yeah.
I would like you to, protest that came up in the year 2020,
Yeah.
October 20,
Yeah. During the
2020.
NSAS.
Yes. The protest, part of what affected the protest was kind of the protest was a faceless leader. Had a faceless leader. When I say having a faceless leader is that you don't have people who are representing, who are going to speak for you with the government or negotiate or have a conversation with the government. And
Okay.
it looks as if that is the same method or the same model that this protest wants to take its place, whereby we are yet to see an organized leader representing the forthcoming protest. Do you think, first, is the right step to take by the youth? That is first. And secondly, do you think is achievable?
Okay, firstly, I would like to say if there is a selected leader, it's going to look like it is politically oriented. Do you understand? If there's a specific leader for this kind of protest, don't forget this protest is nationwide. It's not, before I say nationwide, that's to do with, we don't forget we have a president. So if there is a particular leader, it's going to look politically oriented, like there's a politician that is sponsoring it, that wants to maybe probably trying to go for
All
election
right,
and so on.
Mr.
Do you
Emmanuel,
understand?
permit me to cut you at that moment. You want to have a conversation with the government, or you want to pass an information to the government. There must be someone to negotiate with the government, or to, of course, have a conversation with the government. Because here it is, when you all, or let me say, when there's a protest on the streets and everything is going on, it looks as if there is no direct information being given. So don't you think there's a need to having a face leader to negotiate with the government, to have a conversation with the government, and of course fasting the requests?
The thing is, I don't think there's need for on a good day, because the our government here just need force. If normally they should know that stuff are being difficult. Presently, stuff is very difficult for the citizen of the nation. So, but in this part of the world, we just need force. And the only thing that they will understand is protest. Do you understand? I'm not in total support of the protest actually, but I just come to realize that they just need force. They just need force and a little bit of banner and those kind of things that people need to show them, so that they'll say, these people are really serious about what they are talking about. If you just keep quiet like that, like we've always done, nothing will change. Nothing will actually change.
All right. Well, if you feel that our government, that is, if I may interpret what you're trying to say, that the government only understands the language of protest and forceful demands, and not, just like this way we are communicating in a very cool way, and the government seems not to understand, doesn't understand this
They won't
language,
even listen
but
to
they
you.
understand the
No.
forceful,
Yes,
communication.
yes.
All right, if that be the case, let's see what the fate of Nigerians would be by then. Lagos, Nigeria, the number is of course 090-3641-3355. Do you think
Please
it
call the
is
number
right?
again.
090-3641-3355. 090-3641-3355. Yes, let's see. Do you think it is right for the youth or Nigerians at large to have a protest with the interventions that the Nigerians have had, recently, or by the federal government? Good evening. You're welcome to the program this evening. Your name and location.
Hello.
I can hear you. Your name and location.
Yeah, I'm calling from Mabu. My name is Omade Oluwashola.
You're welcome, Mr. Omole. Your take on the discussion this evening.
Yes, Nigeria needs to come out and protest.
All right. All right.
Like a child needs to cry before the mother needs that this child is breastfeeding. That's the language of our government.
All right.
I think we have pushed us too far.
All right.
Too far.
All right.
Now to the world that we are going to take back and tell them. Tinubu can't tell us that he doesn't know that Nigerians are hungry.
He knows now.
Mr. Omole, Tinubu knows that Nigerians are hungry. That is why he have decided to share. We have a palliative going on, which he have shared to about 36 states. And recently, the minimum wage has been increased.
Minimum wage, wow.
All right.
Have you ever collected palliative, either in the coronavirus time or all these trailers, truck of rice?
No, I haven't. Though. Personally, I haven't.
There's a motive.
All right.
This is a protest.
All right.
Hunger is the motive.
All right.
And after is going to be the result.
All right.
Angry man is an angry man. So if
All right.
after the motive for the protest, we should expect the word
All right. Thank you, Mr. Omole, for joining us this evening. All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Omole, for joining us this evening. Thank you for your take on this discussion this evening.
Did you hear
But
that?
yeah, but
Very,
before,
very, very straightforward message. I like his message.
well, the federal government, one thing I like about this administration is that they don't they respect the rule of law, and that is why the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Igbetokun, has of course urged Nigerians or the protesters that they can go ahead with the protest, but they would frown at any disruption or people who are going to use the protest to disrupt or spoil any public facilities. And that is why, Mr. Great, I would like to ask you, when you are having a protest like this, you're welcome to the program. Your name and location. Hello. All right. Join us. Later. That should be network issues. So that's why I need to ask you again.
Okay.
A protest that is not having an organized leader, or that does not appear to be an organized leader. Don't you think there is an opportunity of having hijackers to hijack this protest?
Okay, that's why we should have the law enforcement in place. Do you get it? That's why
All
we
right.
should have the law enforcement in place. Even the law enforcement, they also are partaker of the hardship of this country.
All right.
So they shouldn't pretend as if they don't know what's going on. Do you get it?
No, the Inspector General of Police is of course aware
Thank you.
of the forthcoming, and that's why they have said they are going to.
They should be part of it also.
All right, you're welcome to the program. Your name and location.
This is Shola Omode again from Agoro.
Okay.
Let me just listen. The government are always hijackers of protest. You can see the Lekki.
All right, Mr. Omole, I would also like you to, when you are making, Mr. Omole, can you hear me clearly? Mr. Omole, can you hear me clearly? All right, I think please, when we are making our contributions, let's be conscious of our words. Are you with me? Because when you are saying the government, who are the government? We are the government. We also have the people who are leading us. So we both share in the government's responsibility. So when you say government are taking, hijackers, who are the government? We have people who are the receiving hand and the giving hand. So we cannot make allegations without evidence, please. Thank you so much. Mr. Amano, you're trying to make a point.
Yeah. What's the question again?
Yeah, I was telling you that when we have a protest coming up like this, we should have an organized leader or representatives.
Yeah, that's very true. There are actually people who, those who disseminated the information to every person in this country. Do you understand? Like, I didn't plan the protest.
Okay.
You actually didn't plan it, but we just saw it one way or the other.
All right.
Those are actually the leader of the protest. So I think they already made provisions for those they already made provisions for it already.
All
And
right.
those are the same people who are in charge of this particular protest. So naturally everybody is passing through this hardship now. So there's no way, it's only those who have eaten so much and have nothing to lose. Those are the people who will come out and hijack. And those who have some benefit in one way or the other, they don't want it to get spoiled. Should you grab? That's how the country is. That's how we see it.
Well, I don't think there's anyone in this country that is not being beaten, by this country, by the hardship that we are passing through in this country. No matter wherever you are, whoever you are, even the governments are passing through, the hardship of this country. So, but the thing is, what is worth doing well. It's my own policy that I do understand. That is why I keep on asking. When we are having a protest or we are having anything, I believe if you ask me, Mr. Emmanuel, that it should be an organized, something, so that I can have your communication well. Because when the government wants to pass on information.
See, another thing about this being organized is then you place some people as targets.
All right.
For arrest. Do you understand? Those people, I don't want to mention names.
When you say place people, it's when you are planning a protest have to be peaceful. And that is why the federal government, under the leadership of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has not said you're not going to have protests. But then, it must be by law. It must be peaceful. It must not disrupt any business. That's one thing that the government has allowed. And that's why when the Inspector General of Police had its meeting yesterday, They did not say they are going to disallow the protest, but then it must not disrupt or destroy any public facility. Before you contribute, let me quickly call the number again. Is of course 090 3355 090 3355. Let us know your take on the discussion this evening. Did you think it is necessary to have the protest, or is it necessary to have the protest, considering so many of the interventions that the federal government had put in place recently? But yeah, Mr. Mano, you're trying to say something.
Yeah, I'm just saying if there's a particular leader for the program, because those are going to be the targets. Those are going to be the target that the law enforcers will be looking for to arrest. And it's even wrong because those people cannot just be bearing cross of everybody. The person that is not Jesus Christ.
Alright.
You get, so it should not be the one that will be. So it should be a general stuff that there's no pinpoint person to be arrested. Do you understand it? So it should just be something that everybody should come out and speak their mind. But please, it should just be peaceful. That's the most important thing. Because we have a lot of persons who actually lost their life in the last one, and it was traumatic. It was not a good sign. So please, let us just be peaceful in our protest, and let us watch out for hijackers too. Let's just watch out for it. But I don't support the fact that we should have a particular leader, because it's a general stuff. It's a general stuff. That's just it.
Oh, yesterday I listened to SCN barrister I mean Falano, and he made mention of something. He said one of the reasons Nigerians or youths appreciate having a protest without leader is because they want to achieve their aim. But he said if when they have a leader or someone to represent them, the government might easily convince them and do otherwise, and everything dies down.
You can't speak while eating. When they give you one or two, you be quiet.
All right, Lagos. The program is still the realities of life, and we're of course looking at the forthcoming protest, whether or not it's going to come up. But of course, the Nigerian police has given it a assurance that they're going to secure the protesters, provided it is peaceful. And whoever that will be coming to disrupt the protest, the person would of course have him or herself to be blamed for it. Lagos, this is of course the realities of life. We'll take this breather. When we are back, we'll continue on the program, The Realities of Life by Sir James. Stay tuned. This Section 22, Chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, 2011, it states categorically that the press, radio, television, and other agencies of the mass media shall at all times be free to uphold the fundamental objectives obtained in this chapter and uphold the responsibility and accountability of the government to the people. Our Nigerian government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are calling on you this evening that it is our responsibility to call you to order when we are not comfortable with some policies being made. It is not because we want to castigate or hate anybody, but because we want to have a better society, a better nation for every one of us. And that is why we decided to have this program and other sister medias who have been discussing on all of this. And I begged the federal government to please always take what it is that is being discussed by the media very seriously. The protest that is coming up, I beg the federal government, let's not just look at whoever that is politicizing it, but let's look at the message being passed. That is my message this evening. Mr. Mone, I would like to have your take on this evening.
All right, I just want to speak to our able Nigerian police. Please let us try as much as possible to secure the protest. Please, this protest is actually for everybody. You are Nigerians, we are Nigerians, and it's just for the betterment of the country, for your children, for your family, for your parents, for your uncles. We shouldn't see it as something that we should use against the citizen, because in one way or the other, you're also a citizen. It's just the fact that you are a first person. So if it gets better, it will benefit you, it will benefit me, it will benefit each and every one of us. So that's just the point. So let us be human. Do you understand? Let us not see it as something that we should use to take advantage of other people. That's just my take on that. Please, let's be peaceful, please. Wherever you are, just be peaceful.
Well, thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. That will be our sign out this evening. Before I go, remember this: to have a sane society is a responsibility of both the government and the governed. In essence, we all share in the responsibility of having a sane society. Till I come your way again subsequent time. I am Sir James Bfr. Follow me on all social media at Sir James Bfr, Facebook, Twitter, of course X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and which one again? TikTok. Of course, we can have a continued conversation in all of this. Till I come your way again in subsequent time. Have a great week ahead. Bye for now.